So when coming to introduction to Java, okay, Java is basically a programming language. Okay, it's a object-oriented programming language, and Java was first introduced by Sun Microsystem, and then it was in the 2010 it was acquired by the Oracle Systems, Oracle Corporation. Java was introduced by Sun Microsystems, and later in the year in the year 2010 it is acquired by Oracle. Yeah, Muhammad. No problem. Yeah, yeah, no problem. Yeah, please mute everyone. So if you have any questions, yeah, you can raise me. Now coming to features of Java, so there are so Java is so famous because of its features. Okay, it supports a number of features than any other programming language. So for example, the best feature of Java is platform independent. Okay, and there are many other platform independent. It's a object oriented language, and it supports multi-threading, and it is simple, secure. So there are many more features. Let's see one by one. Okay, so you can see here it's a simple object oriented, platform independent, secure, robust, architecture neutral, portable, dynamic, interpreted, high performance, multi-threaded, distributed. Okay, so there are so many features of Java. You don't need to remember all those thing. At least five, whichever you can able to remember, at least five you can remember, that's more than enough. But I will cover most of the will cover all those 12, and you can remember at least five, that's fine. Okay, so it is simple because it doesn't have pointers, and it supports easy syntax. Okay, so in C it is so tough because one of the reason is that it has pointers. Okay, so the pointers is nothing but the variables or the functions which will directly interact with the memory. Okay, so it can create some problem in the memory management side. Okay, but in Java there is no pointers, and it is easy syntax, and it is basically object oriented. Everything you code in Java is an object. Okay, everything will be an object, and each object will communicate with each other. Okay, how it's going to be happen, we'll discuss later, but right now you remember it's a object oriented. Everything in Java is an object. So when I say platform independent, so platform independent is nothing but basically write once and execute everywhere. Okay, you write the program at one machine, and Java supports to execute the same thing in different machines. Okay, so to do that, the Java file has to be compiled, and the compiled file will generate a dot class file. This particular dot class file you can execute on any mission. Okay, now you can see this image also. So there is a class file, and that class file can be executed in any machine, Windows, Linux, Mac. Okay, so with the help of JVM. Okay, so JVM is nothing but a Java virtual machine. Okay, which is part of JRE, and JRE has to be installed in each and every machine. So you need to remember that. Let's say I have a Java file which I compiled it. Okay, and I given to you. Let's say you don't have any Java installed. Okay, it can execute the dot class file. Okay, at least you have to install a JRE in your system. Okay, this JRE will be having the JVM. Okay, all your class files will be executed in the JVM. Okay, so to execute any class file, each system should have JRE at least in their mission. Okay, we'll talk about all those things. So there are JRE, JDK. Okay, we'll talk about all those things. So right now you remember class file can be executed in any mission with the help of JVM, and this JVM is part of the JRE. Now coming to robust. So robust is nothing but it's a strong one. Okay, so because Java has having a strong memory management, and it doesn't have any pointers, and it has the garbage collection, and it has also supports exception handling and type checking. Because of all these features, it is robust. Okay, robust is basically is nothing but it's a strong. So writing some code in Java and breaking that code is not so easy, because it has all these features like memory management, garbage collection, and no pointers, so that security problems can be avoided, and it supports exception handling, type checking mechanism. Okay, so portable is nothing but Java bytecode can be carried to any platform for execution. Okay, so before all these things, let me explain a simple thing about Java. Okay, so that will be more clear. So you write a program in Java and you name it as some hello dot Java. So every Java file should be ended with dot Java extension. Okay, if you don't see dot Java extension to a file, it's not a Java file. And each Java file has to be, so Java file basically in a human readable code. Okay, so that you need to compile first. You need to compile it, and once the compile is done, it's going to give you a hello dot class file. Okay, so there is a compile will happen. Okay, so what this compile does? Okay, it does two things. One is it generates a hello class file, right? So before generating this compile file, validates a validates a Java file. Okay, if any syntax errors are there, if any syntax issues, or if any problems are there, it generates the compile errors. Okay, let's say in this line this particular syntax is not valid. Okay, in this line this particular way of defining the statement is not valid, so such kind of compilation errors it generates. Okay, so if everything is fine, okay, there is no compilation issues, everything is fine, the compilation will be success, and it generates a dot class file. Okay, so that is how we got the hello.java into hello.class file. Okay, so this file will again go to JIT. Okay, JIT is nothing but just in time compiler. So it's like not compiler, it's a just in time interpreter. Okay, so this JIT will read this hello.class file line by line. Okay, and make sure this hello.class file is not human readable. You cannot understand it, you cannot understand a single word of it. Okay, so it is for the machines. Okay, this JIT is a interpreter which will read the hello.class file statement by statement, and then it executes to the it executes in a mission. It executes in the mission. Okay, and this particular dot class file you can share to anyone, and they can also able to execute it. Okay, So that is how it will be. And this particular JIT is part of JRE. Okay, is this JRE is nothing but Java runtime environment. Okay, so to write the hello.java program, to read this hello.java program, one has to have JDK installed in their machine. JDK installed in their machine. But to execute a program, you need JRE at least. Okay. When you install Java, so in our previous class we have seen, right, when we install Java, when we install Java, so it has installed two things. Okay, one is JDK and one is JRE. So I hope everyone remembered it. If not, I will just show you the things. So when we install this Java in the program files, it has installed two things. One is JDK and one is JRE. Okay. So this JDK is required. So is nothing but JDK is nothing but Java development kit. Okay. Is required to write any Java programs. Okay. And this JRE is nothing but Java runtime environment required to execute any Java program. Okay, so we have developed this hello.java using the JDK, and we compile it to hello.class file, and we ran using JIT, which is part of JRE again in the mission. Okay, so this is how the things will be executed. So make sure the same hello.class file you can send to another mission. Okay, so that could be a Mac or Linux, whatever it could be. Okay, it could be a Mac. Okay, let's say this is a Windows. Okay, so to execute this hello.class file in the Mac machine, again it should have JRE installed in their machine, and with the help of JRE they can able to execute this hello.class file. Okay, so remember that. So this dot class files is in the bytecode. One more thing you need to remember, this hello.class file is in the bytecode. Okay, so any questions till now? Yeah, any questions? So this hello.class file is in the mission readable code, and that is in bytecode, and this JIT will read the step by step of hello.class file, and it will execute in the mission. Okay, so portable is nothing but this Java bytecode is nothing but dot class file you can carry to any platform for execution. Okay, as long as we have a JRE installed in that machine. And distributed is nothing but Java can also able to access the internet and load some files and some data. Okay, so with the help of RMI and EJB it can does that. Okay, so multi-threaded is nothing but at same time executing multiple tasks is nothing but multi-threading at the same time and simultaneously. For example, you take an example of WhatsApp, where you can download some file. Okay, somebody sent a image to you, you can download it. At the same time, while it is downloading, at the same time you can able to chat with somebody else, and you can send attachments to somebody else, right? Okay, at the same time, one side it is downloading, and other side you are chatting and sending attachments. Okay, so also you are doing WhatsApp call. Okay, so all these things can be done simultaneously. Okay, so a WhatsApp is a single application or single program which can able to perform multiple tasks at the same time. It's all nothing but multi-threading. Okay, Java supports multiple threading. At the same time, you can span multiple processes to perform different tasks in Java. So in one shot, you can remember that Java supports multiple threading is nothing but simultaneously you can execute multiple tasks. Okay. And coming to secure, okay, we know that we know that Java program always run in JRE, right? Okay, with almost null interaction with the system OS. Hence, it is more secure. Okay, so let's say this is how it will be executed. Let's say this is the OS. So in the OS, you are having the JRE. In the JRE, you will be having the JVM. Okay, so in the JVM, you will be executing your .class file. Okay, if you see here, so this is the OS, and from the OS, this is OS, and this is JRE, JRE, and this is JVM. Okay, so if you see inside OS there is a JRE installed. In that JR there is a JVM is part of JRE. In that you are executing a .class file. Okay, so it is such a secure it is. Okay, you to the .class file to communicate with the OS, it has multiple layers in between. Okay, if you see the C file, C execution, it will be like this. You will understand now how secure Java is. Let's say this is the OS. Okay, and your application or your files will be executed directly in the OS. Your files are directly executed in the OS. So if you compare C with Java, now you can see how secure it is. So again, architectural neutral is nothing but compiler generates a byte code which have nothing to do with the particular computer architecture. Hence, Java program is easy to interpret on any other machine. Okay, it's all nothing but once you know that bytecode can be given to any machine. Okay, and that can be executed anywhere. Okay, so it's all about same thing only. Portable or architecture neutral is almost same. Okay, so the compiler generated code, that is .class file, can be shared to any machine and can be executed, and it is interpreted. We just saw, right, my program is compiled to my program.class, and that JVM which is having the interpreter, that is JIT. Okay, execute this .class file and it will run the program in a mission. So Java is dynamic language, and it is capable of dynamically linking class, libraries, methods, objects. Okay, so if you run any Java programs, multiple Java programs, and each Java program is able to communicate with another program, is nothing but each Java program is nothing but an object. Each object can be able to communicate with other objects. Okay, and an object will be having certain methods and variables. Okay, we'll talk about all those things in our later sections. Okay, right now you just remember, so each object is able to communicate with the other object with the help of methods. And apart of that, Java program support functions written in C and C++. Let's say you have written a C function and C++ function, and you can directly able to execute those functions in your Java code. Okay, so these C or C++ functions are called as native functions, native methods. Anything is okay. Okay, so that's about all these features. So I recommend you to go through once again. I will be sending this PPT to all of you. I recommend you to go through once again. At least remember 5 points. So that will be more than enough. Now coming to our module again. So we have done introduction to Java, history of Java, features of Java, the way Java works is nothing but this one only. Okay, a program will be compiled and converted to .class file, and that will be executed by the JRE. So JRE will be having the JVM inside, and the JVM will be having the JIT inside, and this particular JIT is will be executing the your program. Okay, this is JVM, and inside JVM there is a JIT. This particular JIT is nothing but just-in-time interpreter. This particular interpreter will be reading your .class file and executing in the machine. Okay, so that's about the way Java works. And coming to class and object, okay, this is important. Let me start with the object first. Okay, so Java is basically, it follows the real-time word scenarios or examples. Okay, for example, so object is nothing but anything which you can see it and we can touch it is nothing but an object. Okay, anything you see it. Okay, let's say you can see your computer, mobile, okay, laptop or keyboard or a duster, a pen, a marker. Okay, anything you can see it. Okay, which has some properties and behaviors is nothing but an object. Okay, the best example is you take a car. Okay, for example, this particular car will be having certain properties, right? A car will be having color, and then car number, and then steering, accelerator. Okay, like it will be having certain properties. The best properties are like color, and car number, and the model number, and the manufacturer name. Okay, let's take car as an example. So when it comes to properties, what it is having: color, no, car number, model number, manufacturer, and name. Okay, so in the definition what I said, so object is nothing but, okay, anything which you can see and which has certain properties and certain behaviors. When it comes to behavior of car, behaviors of car, so it has the speed. Okay, the best thing is the speed, and then steering, accelerator, return, and then brake. Okay, so each thing has certain property, certain behaviors, right? Let's say brake. So when you apply the brake, the car will be stopped. When you accelerate it, the speed will be increased. When you do some steering, so it move, either left or right, or the way how you choose the steering, so it will be move accordingly, right? So the car will be having certain properties and behaviors, and you can see that, you can touch it, right? So all these are objects. For example, and you can take a person is then also an object. So what person properties? Okay, again he'll be having a name. Okay, if he's an employee, he'll be having an ID, and he'll be having some color, uh, you know you can measure him with height. Okay, some weight. Okay, all these are properties. When it comes to behaviors, what are the behaviors of a person? So he can talk. Okay, he can walk. Okay, he can eat and more, anything. Okay, there are many behaviors of a person, right? So all these are object, anything you can see it and which has properties and behaviors are nothing but a car. Okay, so these are all objects. So fine, what is a class? Okay, so before that, let me give another example. Okay, let's say you might have seen a Maruti Desire car, or a Tata Nano car. Okay, let's say, to give you the best example, take a Tata Nano car. Okay, so before it coming into the market, okay, its engineers are made several designs and finally came to that particular design. Okay, and once the design is approved, and they replicated many cars. Okay, they first designed one car shape, and the higher authorities are not liked it. Okay, and says it is like an auto. Then they design another thing, and finally they agreed to that. Okay, that is about nano car. Okay, before nano car coming into the market, we have seen there are many designs that happen, right? So and finally one design is approved. Okay, so is nothing but first they made the design is also called as blueprint. Once the design is approved, once the design is approved, finally they made finally they made you know so nano car 1 and nano car 2, right? So they replicated n number of cars, okay, car 3, car 4, there could be lakhs of cars they replicated with the same design. Okay, so now in Java, this particular blueprint or design is called as a class. Okay, and class can have multiple objects. Like a design can have multiple cards. Okay, a card design can have multiple cards. In Java, a class can have multiple objects. Okay, that could be object 1, object 2. No? So object 3 like this. Okay, now let's come to the, so this is about class and object. You just need to remember an object is nothing but anything which has properties and behaviors, and which is coming from the blueprint or which is coming from the class is nothing but an object. Okay, let me write the definition. First definition, you can say it, class is an instance of blue sorry class is a blueprint, and object is instance of a class, and each object has certain properties and behaviors. So these behaviors we can call it as functions or methods. Okay, just give me a second, I'll keep it in charging. Okay, fine, this is fine. Now let me define the class structure. So I'm going to wind up this class in another 5 minutes. I know some of you guys have to leave office. I'm going to wind up in 5 minutes. So let me write a class structure, how it will be. So a class will be having a package statement in the beginning, package name. Okay, so I will discuss all those things in the next class, and we'll be having a import statements, import names, and this is the final class structure, public class hello, better will write as a proper thing. Okay, person. So a person will be having, first we are designing the blueprint. Okay, once we design, let's make it as car, the best thing. Okay, first we are designing the blueprint, and once the blueprint is ready, we'll create the object. Okay, for example, a car, what will be having, it will be having a car number, right? And it will be having a color, right? And it will be having model name, model name, or model number, whatever it could be, and it will be having manufacturer and name. Okay, and it has certain behaviors, right? We just public void break. So it, this behavior does something, some future it will does. So this particular behavior does some function. Okay, so there is a, to perform this behavior there is a piece of code or piece of functionalities written. Now it also do accelerator, okay, which will help the car in moving faster. Okay, to achieve this behavior, again there is something, some code is written. Okay, that's it. So if you see, a car is a blueprint, right? A class is a blueprint which has some, to achieve the blueprint we have created some things here, like some properties here, and we also created some behaviors here. Okay, so we know behaviors are called it as functions or methods, and properties are called it as variables. In Java, properties are called variables, and behaviors are called functions. Okay, so these are called, you can call it as functions or methods. So this is about a class structure. A class will be having a package statement, import statement, and set of variables and set of behaviors, that is methods. Now to create the object for this class, so we said, right, so once the blueprint is ready we can create a number of cards, right? Once the car blueprint is ready we can create a number of cards. In the same way, once the class is ready we can create a number of objects for that class. So to create an object we can say car, car1 equal to new car. In Java, to create a object for a class we have to do like this, and then we can assign some values to the properties. Car number equal to 101, car1 dot color equal to red, car1 dot model name equal to desire, something like this. Car1 dot manufacturer name equal to Suzuki. Okay, so once it is done you can also call these functions with the help of object name. This is called object name, this is called object name. You can also call it as reference variable, car1 dot break. Okay, first you can do accelerator and see whether the car is moving or not, and then car1 dot, again you apply brake. Okay, so like this, to access, to access the variables or functionalities in a class. Okay, so you have to create an object first. Okay, to access any variables or functionalities in a class, first you need to create an object. Once the object is created, with the help of object name dot variable or method name, you can able to call these methods or variables. Okay, so this is how it should be. So I recommend everyone to go through this class once again if possible, and in the next class, so as of now we just written it here. In the next class we are going to execute these things. Okay, we'll be writing a Java file and we'll be creating the objects for that, and we'll be executing those things and we'll be seeing it. Okay, fine then. So that's about today's class. If anyone has queries, yeah, they can ask me now. They can